Locked On Podcast Network presents Locked On Sports Today.
The LA Clippers forced Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets. Also, Jalen Brunson bounced Cade Cunningham and the Pistons in heartbreaking fashion. And Travis Hunter has a legitimate shot to win both offensive and defensive Rookie of the Year. This episode is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Turn any TV into your Xbox, no console needed. Head to amazonfire.com/Fire TV locked on to learn more. I'm Peter Bukowski, starting your day with the can't-miss stories and biggest debates in sports. You're Locked On Sports Today.
Searching all major sports. Found.
Let's start with the biggest story.
The LA Clippers needed to win Game 6 to keep their hopes alive against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets to force the Game 7. Locked On Clippers host Darian Vaziri has the latest.
Let's go through your frustrations about this performance and why you're so negative on it. I'll give you my view, and then we can kind of go from there.
Oh, first and foremost is that, we have to do this again, guys. Are you freaking... What happened last year? What just happened? You allow a Game 6 to get away from you, and you've got graphics where a Joker is standing on the sideline during Game 6 watching and just absolute tire fire go out where the Nuggets are down 50 against the Wolves in Game 6. And then it looks like they're going to win, and they don't ultimately win because they gassed out and because they didn't have the energy. Hey, let's see what happens. Let's see if Denver can change the flow, change the energy in Game 6 of this game where, they start the first quarter really well. They're up, playing pretty good. Immediately a horrible decision by David Adelman to play DeAndre Jordan against a small ball 5 unit. Are we serious? Peyton Watson played 1 minute in the first half or whatever it was. This is not hard. And they let go of the rope. They should have been up by more than 5 in the first half. They were down 1, and then they let go of the rope in the third quarter. Just unserious in so many ways, driving into really, really ugly plays. The defense is not doing any defensive things. And Denver got bailed out a couple times because Christian Brown hit some threes for the first time in this series, and Jokic made a 3. But that third quarter was very definitive. Denver had no chance to come back from that, and yet they did. They found a way to kind of dig themselves back out of it in the fourth quarter, and they were very close. And then Russell Westbrook, who had a fantastic game up until that point, smokes a layup that they really, really needed, and Denver just couldn't get back any momentum after that. But really, man, my issue is with Jokic. Murray just gave you 43. He gave you 43 points in Game 5 while you had 13, and we're struggling to deal with James Harden's defense. In this entire game, he spent the entire time, whenever he got a call, whenever he did not get a call, staring over at the officials and trying to figure out why he wasn't getting calls. And I am this is a closeout game, man. Just go get the bucket. Take the open 3 that you generated, that the offense generated for you as a 48% three-point shooter in the playoffs or whatever you've been. Take the open 3. And yet you're just pump faking into a mess and turning the ball over and smoking layups. And yeah, you're probably getting fouled a little bit. I get it. But holy cow. This is what the playoffs are all about. And he did not show in the second half of this game.
Okay. First, I want to acknowledge something because I am too much of I tut too much. Doth protest too much. It's a fan's right to be mad at officiating. It is every fan's right to hate the officials. It is a grand tradition amongst all sports fans across the globe that the officials are trying to screw your team and screw you over, and you don't get a good whistle, and it is specifically your guy. I am acknowledging that Nuggets fans feel that way, that Yoke got a bad whistle and was fouled all night, and that would have been the difference in the game. I am acknowledging that you feel that way, okay? Not you.
I also feel that he got fouled, but I just don't care as much. It's about what you do with it.
I was chuckling listening to Dime Dropper on Locked On Clippers because he did the thing that I've said is the motto of all Locked On hosts, which is, look, I'm not a blame the officials guy, but it's every single I have listened to so much Locked On content during these playoffs, and I swear to you, every single show is the same. Look, I'm not a blame the refs guy, but and then there's not a lot to really analyze. Like, the whistle is the whistle, and if you had gotten a great whistle, maybe you win this game, but you didn't. And you have to win despite it. Like, you're not always going to get a good whistle. You're not always going to get I know the answer is like, well, we just want a fair one. You're not going to feel like anything's fair unless you get a good one. And that's just like how it's going to be.
So here's a counter to that. They attempted 9 total free throws tonight and were very it's not just like that. They don't take any threes. They took 27 total threes. They didn't overly turn the ball over. I mean, 12 total turnovers is not that bad in the grand scheme of things.
So I'll say that, but I do want to point this out. 23 points off of those turnovers tonight.
Of course. Oh yeah. The transition defense, when they allowed it, was absolute horse crap. They deserved the loss. There's no question in my mind.
Okay. So, every postseason, except for 2023, because they romped over everybody. I've had a game where I've called out Joker. Like, I have the Jazz game in 2020 in game 3. I have last year's game 2, and I thought I was offended by that performance. This, I honestly don't feel was that. I've seen Joker. I don't know if it quit is just, I think about it a lot in the offseason where I'm like, is that fair that I said that? Is it fair for me to ever say Joker quits? And I do think it's probably not fair. I think there are games that
I think there are good bet.
He was okay. I think this was more similar to game 2, where the Clippers did the job that they have to do of taking away what is in front of him, and he did not force the issue like game 4.
You can stay up to date all year on the LA Clippers by subscribing to Locked On Sports Today and Locked On Clippers on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Your Locked On Sports Today. Coming up, the Pistons were eliminated by Jalen Brunson. Before we get to that, Juan Soto's bat coming to life. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Avowed as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. And with 4K streaming, watch more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes from your favorite subscribed services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and more. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. XPass Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller is required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. After a quiet start to the season, the $750 million man, Juan Soto, woke up against the Diamondbacks.
For the first time this season, the New York Mets have lost the series at Citi Field, and for the first time since July of last year, the Mets lost back-to-back games at Citi Field, which is a testament to how dominant they have been at home since really June of last year. This is Ryan Finkelstein, the host of Locked On Mets, and in this series, I think the point that's going to get lost on a lot of people is the Mets just went up against 2 pitchers that are really good. And there's going to be a lot of teams this year that are going to go into a series against the Diamondbacks, have to face off against Corbin Burns and Zach Gallen, and they're going to lose a lot of those series. This is one where I'm not going to knock the Mets too much for not coming through. Yes, they had opportunities to win each of these games late, but that's a testament to the Mets lineup and their resolve that they're able to put themselves in a position to get those victories, and they will continue to come. There's going to be teams, though, that are going to be able to execute in those late game situations. And credit to the Arizona Diamondbacks. They went to Citi Field and they beat a really good Mets team. I don't think that means anything about the Mets moving forward. And the good news, the Mets will have a chance this next week to go into the Diamondbacks' house and try to get some revenge.
How much are the bobbleheads worth now? The Cubs torched Paul Skeens and the Pirates.
The Chicago Cubs found a way to beat Paul Skeens on Thursday and won a series in Pittsburgh. I'm Sam Olber from Locked On Cubs, and this was a really, really nice win. Couple of big takeaways from the game. Seiya Suzuki, 2 home runs, hit 3 in the series, now leads the team with 9. It's been amazing to watch him just so comfortable in that DH role, and he's really been quietly the best hitter for the Cubs to start this season. And then Colin Ray, 4 starts since Justin Steele went down for the season against really tough opponents, no exception today against Skeens, and the Cubs are 4-0 in those 4 starts, and Colin Ray has been magnificent. Catch Locked On Cubs tonight as we break down this series and then preview a big series in Milwaukee this weekend. Big series win, though, for the Cubbies. Keep it up.
LeBron James limped out of Crypto.com Arena on Wednesday night with a sore knee, a bruised spirit, and maybe, just maybe, an uncertain future. The Lakers got bounced in the first round by the Timberwolves, and James, now 40, remember, said he's not sure how much longer he'll keep playing. I don't know where I'm at, he said. Luka Doncic also left banged up. JJ Redick's rookie coaching run ended early, and the offseason now begins with more questions than answers. And by the way, JJ Redick said the team needs to get in championship level shape. Luka, are you listening? And in NFL news, Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich is taking the blame and the fine after his son prank called Shedeur Sanders during the NFL draft using a leaked phone number from Ulbrich's iPad. The Falcons were fined $250,000. Ulbrich himself another $100,000. The biggest fine, however, could be the eternal grounding his son might receive for that call. The Detroit Pistons scrapped and clawed and fought with the higher seed New York Knicks in this one, but Jalen Brunson magic was too much. A 3 in the final seconds lifted the Knicks 116-113 and gave them a 4-2 series lead. Kuka Hill was in Detroit for the heartbreak. Our host from Locked On Pistons. And Ku, this is a Pistons team that was in all of these games that probably believes it should have won at least 2 of these games that they ended up losing. What is going to be your big top line takeaway from the Pistons in this series?
I think with all the disappointment and all the, could you have done this? Could you have done that? X's and O's. Should you have played this player, that player, whatever. All that put aside, at the end of the day, I think the biggest takeaway will be the Pistons, after winning 14 games last year, came through this year, not only skipped the play-in, made the 6th seed, but then got 2 games off of a New York Knicks team that is clearly just more talented than them right now. Whether they're, what scale they are as a team with the Pistons, they're a more talented team and they won the series. The fact the Pistons were able to get 2 games off of them, and like you said, be in every single game to the point where they probably do feel like they should have won at least 1 or 2 of these games and this series should still be going on. The fact that they were able to achieve all that, I know it's going to be hard for Pistons fans, Piston players, coaches, everyone to hear that right now. But that is, I think, let 24 hours go by, everyone calms down. I think that will be the overall sentiment amongst everyone involved.
Maybe they'll calm down. We'll see. It is sports after all. Going into the series, though, I think it would have been easy to say, hey, look, a young Pistons team, you mentioned 14 wins last year. You bring in a new coaching staff. You give this young team a chance to grow. Hey, playoff reps, we'll take it. If they lose in 5, you just got to go, okay, learning experience. But this was not that. Do you change the way you view the value of these games? Do you change the degree to which you're disappointed in this outcome now that we've seen how close they really were to taking these games?
Yeah, I think 100%. I think there's nothing that could have happened in these playoffs that made the season like a failure or a disappointment. It was already a success once they got there. But 100%, the fact that they were in every single game. And again, like you mentioned, players and fans alike are going to feel like they should have had 1 or 2 games. Many people, I've already talked to a few people around, they feel like the Pistons should have won the series already. They've had a game they felt like taken from them. They felt like they blew game 1, felt like they blew game 3. Because of the way it went, there definitely is going to be more of okay, we actually should try to dive in deep into what happened in this series. Why did this not happen? Whereas if they would have just lost in 5 and would have been clear, like, oh yeah, they're just a young team, that this is a great year and they shouldn't have, they're lucky to be here. Let's just be happy. The fact that they were actually in every game to where they feel like they should have won definitely changes how I feel like you should probably analyze it. either way, I don't think that after you're done analyzing, I don't think any time it should arrive to this was a failure or disappointment. It definitely shifts it though from just, oh, we're just the young kids here, we're just happy to be here. It's not that. It definitely is not that now.
So set reasonable expectations for this team moving forward. What can they do? How can they get to where they want to go after blowing by what we thought the learning curve for this team was going to be?
Yeah, I think that's obviously going to be the biggest question of the whole offseason is, what do the Pistons do to take this next step? They have Jaden Ivey returning. I've already spoken to a few people around the organization that have said that they feel like just adding Jaden Ivey will be like adding another player to the team. So I don't know how much stock they're putting into that. Do they go out and try to acquire another player, or do they really feel like that Jaden Ivey is just that player that if you just added here, they would have gotten a lot better? That could certainly be the case. They have some free agent decisions they have to make with THJ and Malik Beasley in the offseason, along with Dennis Schroeder. All those guys played well for them throughout this season. I think Pistons fans are going to want to see them go after a second co-star to go with Cade, considering the context of what we just saw in this series. Cade was trapped, blitzed, doubled a ton. I saw a stat the other day before this game that he was second in the NBA in the playoffs in touches per game, right behind Nikola Jokic through the playoffs. He was asked to carry an incredibly large load for this team, and it's clear that they need another scoring option. They need another co-star with him if they want to take like this next big step. But at the same time, Trajan Langdon came out, the Pistons president of basketball operations came out a few days ago and said, I hope everyone still remains patient despite what happened this past year. So truly don't know what's going to happen. They could go patient, just run it back with Jaden Ivey, or they maybe, after seeing, like you mentioned, how well they actually played in this series or how close maybe they are, maybe they do go try to push the chips in. We don't know, but it's going to be definitely an interesting offseason for Detroit.
Stay up to date all year on the Detroit Pistons by subscribing to Locked On Sports Today and Locked On Pistons on your favorite podcast app and on YouTube. Coming up, Travis Hunter could be taking home both major rookie awards this season. Second overall pick Travis Hunter will aim to play both sides of the ball for the Jacksonville Jaguars, just like he did in college. Locked On NFL hosts Tyler Rowland and Michelle Majuk believe Hunter could win both offensive and defensive rookie of the year.
Talked about offensive rookie of the year. Yes, it typically goes to a quarterback, but you have Ashton Genty, you have Tetaroa McMillan. We'll talk about those guys more, but Travis Hunter is a very interesting pick. Third best odds to win offensive rookie of the year. But when you switch that out and you go to the defensive side of the ball, Travis Hunter still has the third best odds to win at plus 1,000. I find that very, very interesting as well. And I'm with him there. I think that Travis Hunter has a chance to lift the boats. I liked the move up for Jacksonville. I didn't like the move down for Cleveland because you're giving up on Travis Hunter. And again, FanDuel has a bet right now, plus 420 for Travis Hunter to win either of the offensive or defensive rookie of the year. I think if he just gets 3 or 4 interceptions on defense, even as a part-time player, he can win it. I love that bet, a plus 420 to win one of the rookie of the year awards. He's just too talented.
The offensive part is the most straightforward part. There's not a quarterback in this class where you go, well, if that guy plays half decent, he's going to win. Cam Ward was the number 1 overall pick, but even the Cam Ward fans understand that's probably going to take some time. And the Titans, let's be honest, it's not a very good football team. Travis Hunter is going to get plenty of opportunities. Trevor Lawrence is the coach. Liam Cohen can coach offense. So it would make sense with Brian Thomas Jr. getting a lot of the attention that Travis Hunter could be in a position to rack up serious yards. The question is going to be on defense, where presumably he's going to have to deal with guys like Abdul Carter, taken in the top 5 in this class. And there are other really good pass rushers. This was a loaded pass rush class. So that's going to be the hard part here. If he's a receiver first and plays some corner, or if he's a corner first and plays some receiver, that's not going to work. He's going to have to be what he was at Colorado, and that is a 100% time player in order to do this. He's just not going to be good enough in all likelihood otherwise. I think he can be, he should be the favorite, frankly, to be offensive rookie of the year. But Abdul Carter should be and is the favorite to win defensive rookie of the year. Could Travis Hunter do it? Yeah. Will he? No. And finally, Rick Pitino is back on the Kentucky sideline, sort of. St. John's is expected to replace UCLA in next season's CBS Sports Classic, set up a showdown between Pitino's Red Storm and St. John's, and Mark Pope's Wildcats, a coach versus former player moment, almost too juicy to script. It'll be Pitino's first game against Kentucky since 2016 and his first with St. John's coming off a Big East title. This is what we call peak college hoops. If you're catching this episode after hearing your favorite Locked On show, make sure to subscribe to Locked On Sports Today on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Also, if you're a new subscriber to Locked On Sports Today, we're here for you with the biggest stories in sports every day. Coming up, does Houston's young core have what it takes to push Steph Curry to Game 7? So at least until tomorrow, stay locked on sports today.
Locked On Podcast Network presents Locked On Sports Today.
For more episodes of Locked On Sports Today, go to our video on demand. Click on sports at the top of your screen. There, you'll find past episodes of Locked On Sports Today, plus other Locked On shows on demand.